I have the most hyped Casio of 2024, and did it live up to its hype? Let's find out. Casio is known for making very good watches, but on January 2023, things were taken to a next level for Casio. They launched a model which was hyped all over the world because it was similar to a very famous Swiss brand, as well as it had a very special color which is now common in almost all watches. When the watch released, it sold out within seconds, and people were so desperate to get their hands on one, they were ready to pay even 10 times its price. But again in 2024 in India, the hype went to new levels. And now let's start with the specifications of that watch. The Casio MTP-1302PD, or the OG Tiffany, has a 44mm case, a width of 38.5mm, height of 9.2mm, which is quite slim, a weight of 105 grams, 50 meters of water resistance, a fully stainless steel body with a turquoise blue color dial, which is also called the Tiffany Blue, and it had basic features like a date function. This watch has a very simple design. It has a fluted bezel, bold indices and markers, and you have a date function at the 3 o'clock position, Casio logo at the 12 o'clock position, and 50 meters of water resistance at the 6 o'clock position. Many people say that this watch looks very familiar to the Rolex Oyster Perpetual, which is also released in the turquoise blue color. But when you look at the watch side by side, you can find a lot of differences between both the watches, and they are eons apart when it comes to the mechanical part of the watch. But when it comes to the looks, you can see a similarity, but it is really not the same. If you like the video so far, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, as I do everything related to watches and watches only. Thanks to Rajsan Watch Company for sponsoring this video. More on them in the description. Please do check them out. If you want to go closer into the design of this watch, you can see some minor details which makes this watch little more admirable. First is the bezel. You have this fluted bezel which we've seen in premium brands like Rolex. Adding it to the watch makes it a little more premium. The indices are of stainless steel. Hour and minute markers are heavily low. If you look above the indices, you can see that there is this minute striation above each indices to make readability of the time much easier. And we've seen this before in a Timex as well. This design was inspired by many other brands as well. So when you look closer into the date marker, this is the first time I'm seeing a watch which has something like this. It's not something special, but something unique. So normally when you look at a date marker, it'll either be fully white or any other color depending on the watch. But over here, it is still white. But what they've done intelligently is they have an area above the date marker. So when you look closer, it is just the normal date marker, but the position of the box is above the dial. So it's not limited to the date marker. It took some space from the dial. So it looks more bluish, but it is not, it's white. But this is like a very minor detail which I appreciate. And another small minor detail is there is a part of stainless steel area between the bezel and the dial. You have this gap where there is a reflection of the minute striation. That also you can't see normally, but if you look very closely, you observe that. So those were two things which were kind of unique in this watch. When it comes to lume of this watch, I'm actually disappointed. This watch has lume only on the hour and minute markers. So you don't have any other lume anywhere else. So you'll be seeing the outline of the watch. But if you're expert in seeing the time with only the hour and minute hand, it's not going to be a problem for you. If Casio had incorporated lume into the indices, it would have been much greater. But I'm not telling you to stay with this price point. You can increase the price point to make it even more better. I think you'll do that in the future with an updated version of this Tiffany. And let's discuss about the price later in this video. When it comes to the build quality of this watch, it doesn't feel so premium. It's like the entry-level enticers you've seen, and it is quite flimsy. But if you're looking for a very affordable watch, I don't think so this is going to be a big problem. But if the same watch was in a higher budget, I would have criticized it. I think for this budget, Casio's offered its best. Is a question which has not been answered by many people, and I hope I can give justice to it. During 2022 to 2024, there was a lot of Tiffany models. Actually there were two Tiffany models to be precise. One was from Patek Philippe, which was the OG Tiffany. So it's a turquoise blue color because of the collaboration with the Tiffany & Co. You get this name called Tiffany Blue. It's a copyrighted name. It should not be used by any other brand. So this watch was so popular, and Rolex had to take this colorway and make an Oyster Perpetual, which is one of their entry-level models. That was also a very limited model, so people wanted to get their hands on a Tiffany. And when Casio released this watch in 2023, people compared this to Rolex Oyster Perpetual and wanted to get their hands on this watch as soon as possible. If you go to any Casio store, this watch was sold out within seconds all over the world. But in India, this watch was released only by mid of 2023 or early of 2024. So the hype was created by the influencers or creators. So this hype was so real that people were ready to buy this watch at even 10 times price. I've seen people buy this watch for nearly $800, which is just insane. And the amount of money you pay for that, you could have got another premium watch, and most of them were disappointed after getting the watch at a very high price because of its build quality. The hype for this watch has gone down, and you can buy this watch at any Casio store or even Ratsan Watch Company if you just walk in. This watch is priced at $3,995, which is actually a good price. I don't say for the build quality of the watch, that price is something which you can give. And you can also visit Ratsan Watch Company, they might give you a discount as well. You're looking for a very big discount, it's quite difficult at the moment, but maybe in the future. So these were my honest thoughts about the Casio OG Tiffany. Normally when you're buying a watch, even if it's really hyped, it's better that you buy it in retail price or wait for some time till the hype dies down. But if it is a limited edition model, then it's always better to go to a retailer and get the watch instead of just going online or going to eBay to get that watch, because that is when scalpers or any retailers make most of the money. They charge you 5 to 10 times its price because of the hype. So please be careful before buying a watch online next time. If you haven't seen my previous video about the Timex skeleton, you can check it out here, or the playlist of all the watch videos I've made over here. I'll see you next week with another exciting watch. Until then, peace out.